One of the first 2 days of free agency here for the Chicago Bulls, and they land Demar Derozan in a sign and trade deal here. So this Bull team, they pretty much built this team in a half a season here. Last year getting Vukovic at the deadline, and now a sign and trade deal, trading Thaddeus Young, a first rounder, and 2 second rounders to the San Antonio Spurs in a sign and trade for Demar Derozan. And Demar Derozan, he still could play ball. He still could get things done. And we heard the Clippers and Lakers had interest in him. But obviously they weren't going to give him a 3-year, $85 million deal like he got in this sign and trade from the Bulls. And Derozan last season, 21.6 points a game, 4.2 rebounds, 7 assists, 88% from the foul line and 50% from the field. So this Chicago Bull team, they're locked and loaded. And in my opinion, they could compete with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Brooklyn Nets, at least give them some games and be close in the standings. I think this is a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference. You got Lonzo, you got Zach LaVine, you got Vukovic, you got DeMar DeRozan. So right here, they're ready to roll and get things going. And DeRozan, one of the better scorers in all the NBA here, with 20-plus points for 8 seasons in a row on average. So, Miami Heat, Bulls, and Lakers, the 3 strongest teams, I believe, in free agency here in the first 2 days. And this is a big move for Chicago. They're definitely going to catapult over a lot of teams. Like I said, the 4th or 5th seed now, they probably will be here in the Eastern Conference. And they're making power moves. And DeMar DeRozan, he's going to fit right in my opinion. Just the only thing, him and Zach LaVine play a pretty similar type of ball game. But the last few seasons, like I mentioned, DeMar DeRozan, his assists have definitely gone up. So he's more of a passer. And LaVine, it's still LaVine's team here in Chicago. But this team's going to be fun to watch. A lot of running and gunning with Lonzo Ball pushing the pace, LaVine, DeRozan, and then Vukovic too. So right here, as far as fantasy basketball goes, DeRozan, he's probably going to be a 5th or 6th rounder this season. His scoring per game might drop just a bit because they got 4 guys on that team that could score 20-plus points per game easily on any given night in Chicago. And this team, though, they're going to be fun to watch, like I mentioned. High-paced basketball, up and down the court and stuff. And they're going to be dangerous, I think, in my opinion. If these guys could get going and gel together, the Chicago team could be one of the best ball teams in a long time since the Derrick Rose era with Tom Thibodeau and those guys over here. And the other side of things, San Antonio Spurs, they made a couple moves the last couple days here. They lost Patty Mills, though, and DeRozan, who are arguably 2 of their best 3 players last season. McDermott and Zach Collins, who's still going to be out with a fractured foot. And as far as Thaddeus Young goes, Young, the well-grizzled vet, he's traveled around the league over the last few years. And last season, he was pretty serviceable as well and a good player for the Bulls. 12.1 points a game, 6.2 boards, 4.3 assists, 1.1 steals a game, 62% from the foul line and 55% from the field. So right there, those are pretty good numbers. But it wouldn't surprise me to see the Spurs flip Thaddeus Young or just release him and he goes to a contender, because this team's obviously rebuilding around DeJounte Murray. And they're just going to now take steps back here with Greg Popovich and try to build the nucleus over there in San Antonio. Because now over the last few years, a lot of big names have left that roster. And it's a rebuilding mode, especially in a tough Western Conference. As far as fantasy basketball goes, Thaddeus Young, probably in the last round or 2, he's a player you're going to take in your fantasy leagues. Take him in the later rounds in your league. He does a little bit of everything, especially rebounding, scoring the basketball at a decent rate, and a good passer as well with the 4.3 assists a game. But right here, I don't know if his final destination this season will be with the Spurs. Like I said, I could see him going somewhere else, but another big deal here for the Chicago Bulls. They changed their whole roster and their fortunes in the first 2 days of free agency, getting Lonzo Ball yesterday and trading for DeMar DeRozan today here in a sign and trade deal. So we'll see if this team could gel and make noise in the Eastern Conference in the upcoming season.